everybody. This is John Craig, and welcome to this edition of Walking in Spirit of Truth. And we're here to jump back into our adventure in the book of Jubilees. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it. We're walking through this thing like a journey, not like a Bible study, not like a word study, not like anything like that, other than we do come up with ideas. We come up with um, cross referencing different theological thoughts and things that we knew and things that we've need to fill in the gaps for. Jubilees, there's so many things embedded within this book. It's no wonder that it's mentioned in the Brit Hadashah. So it is just it's quite a journey. Just want to say thank you for being part. We know that you have a choice where you can spend your evenings, your Tuesday evenings, and I'm glad that you want to choose to spend it with me. Or if you're catching it on the archives, you can always speed it up to 2 times speed and get through it that much faster, but still get all the information in. Just got to listen up fast. I do listen to a lot of things at 1.5, 1 3/4, and 2 times speed, but to me, it's always better with earbuds in. Just saying. But um, it's it's uh, it's one of those things where all we want to do is get what are we missing? What are those nuggets? What are those things that we need to fill in the gaps so that we have a better understanding, and better understanding helps us to course correct. I mean, that's bottom line, isn't it? We need to course correct. So Book of Jubilees, that's where we're at. Last week we left off in chapter 26 at verse 12. So we're going to be picking that up. This is right there in the middle of the story of Jacob and Rivka. And Esau's been sent out in the field to get venison, to get some meat for dad. And so Rivka has moved to action because she's going to make sure her son, who received the blessing from Abraham, also gets the blessing, the correct blessing from Isaac, Isaac. So, hey, hey, Tammy, good to see. Shalom to you and everybody else that's joining us. So, it's a great day today. Also, just want to let you know, Life of Worship Ministries. That's who we are. And oh, I'm just gonna fix something right now. Can I? I hope if I change it, I can't change my background without messing up the whole camera. I think so. We'll just have to miss that. We'll have to change it up in another time. Unless I did this. Bring it back in. And oh, yeah, we're good. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, my background, Life of Worship for Life of Worship Ministries. And we're out of Amarillo, Texas. You can join us. And we do broadcasts here on lamnetwork.tv with the Monday morning prayer room. We do the Monday Let Us Reason Together. We've got Tuesday Walking Spirit of Truth. We got Thursday. What's the name of that show? What's your new show, Sandy? She's not listening. I'm going to find it. It's If you haven't seen it, you haven't watched it. It's actually very interesting. It's on Thursday mornings with Sandy and Mark David Smith, and they're picking it up. They've always had a great report, great show, and it's very interesting. I get to listen to it live, like not just live online, live like in the same house. Uh, when I'm here, when I'm in the office, I'm listening. I'm paying attention to what's going on. Oh, do you have it? Um, all right. It's something like, uh, okay. Anyway, Thursday morning, 8:30 Central. Check it out. All right, just pushing that. But also on Shabbat. So we Shabbat on our Life of Worship Ministries YouTube channel. We have our tour portion. We'd love for you to come join us. We have our midrash going on, and so we do an online midrash as well as with our local congregation. And you can also be part of the stream and if you want, we'll send you a guest link and you can be part of the discussion online as well. Because we not just typing in your comments, but we want to hear your comments. And so you can do that and be part of our stream on Shabbat at noon Central, noon to 2 p.m. So we go about 2 hours for the tour portion. Then we come back an hour later at 3 p.m. Central Time with our encounter service, and where we have a time of praise, worship, ministries, follow up by a second stream that has the message, and which that encounter service is meant to encourage. It's meant to um, inspire and and cause us to draw nearer to the Most High. If you're looking for, I mean, we do have some in-depth stuff that we have in the message, and we do have some things that will bolster you and even inspire you to dig in even more. But if you're looking like want to pull it apart and all of the Strong's definitions and looking at the Paleo Hebrew and all that sort of stuff, it's not necessarily the message you want to hear. We will do a lot of that over in the Torah portion. Actually, we'll go pretty deep in the tour portion. So, either way, join us. Join us for all of it. We would love to have you. That's enough for that. If you'd like to support this ministry, you can go to www.lifeofworshipamarillo.org. And here is our um, website. You can jot that down real quick or rewind to catch it, but www.lifeofworshipamarillo.org, and of course Life of Worship Ministries YouTube channel. And if you have but you can go onto our website where you can click or tap on the donate tab at the top of the screen, and that'll take you over to be able to give online if you'd like to support this ministry financially. We also will always very much appreciate that, because we do have a number of different bills, and you guys um, our online congregation helps us out with those bills, so we certainly appreciate that. Also, and if you're looking for a place to bring your tithe and your offering, then we feel like it's good soil to bring it to. And uh, I think that's it. You can also get our mailing address online. And also, you can get our email address if you'd like to email us and send a word of encouragement. And as well as you can comment like after the show, where you can pull up the YouTube channels and you can scroll through and stuff, and you can comment. You can listen to on an archive of something, and you can comment there. If you comment there, that lets people know that are looking for something like, what's this about? What have people said about this broadcast? If you put a comment in there and it's a good positive comment, which we'd hope you would do for us, if it's a good positive comment and put it in there, that'll drive more people to listening to um, our product that we have. So, by the way, our YouTube, our old YouTube channel. So we have the Life of Worship Ministries YouTube channel, and we have our old YouTube channel, which I'm looking for. Don't see that it's there. It's not here in my list. So it is Life of Worship Amarillo. So Amarillo has an O on the end of it. But if you drop the O, just Life of Worship Amarillo, that's our old YouTube channel. There's just a ton of teachings on there and series that we've done in the past, and preachings and teachings, and even also a bunch of fun videos and all that. We would love for you to go on there and check it out. All of our content's free. People complain, well, it's not, do they put their content behind a paywall? And I understand that supporting a ministry, it comes with a cost, and supporting ministers is actually part of what the body does. It helps support the ministry and to go forward. We don't, the only time that we've charged for our messages is when we have to, put them in jewel cases and print DVDs and CDs, and that's a cost of ministry. And so we have charged that way in the past, but all of our stuff online is all free, and everything that's online, anything we've had in our CDs and stuff, we've had online as well for free. So just go there and check out content, and and be blessed by it, and pray, and as y'all moves you, support this ministry financially, because um, it is we're able to go forward because of your generosity. All right, enough of that, and let's get into Jubilees. So we left off in chapter 26. We had come to the point of Esau said, "Go, go, Esau, go get me some meat," and because it's time for the meal. It's time for that meal. And Rivka, of course, overheard him and knew exactly what was going on. So she already had a very fine garment of Esau's in her tent. And so it would have his smells on it. And it's kind of like, ugh, okay, whatever, but it's going to smell like Esau. And tells Jacob, okay, go get a couple kids, not children, kids, like baby goats, and and slaughter them, and I'm going to make up your dad's favorite um, dish, meat dish, stew, whatever it might be, and and then you're going to get some of the hair, and you're going to put it on yourself, and that way he's going to think that you're hairy Esau. And someone made a comment last week. I thought that was pretty good, uh, where the fur, the hair of a baby goat is really soft, and so that would also be a really good substitute that could, effectively just trick dad, who's not seeing too well because he lost his vision. And we've talked about that in our Torah portions before. Losing his physical vision is often tied to losing spiritual vision. So um, or we see that within the scriptures where we're trying to pull a lot of information out and try to get greater understanding. Well, this is where Jubilees is. This is where we left off, and I'm going to go back to verse 11 and go into verse 12 where we had not read, so that we can lead into that. So that's our setup. This story keeps getting better and better as we go along with it. So chapter 26, verse 11, out of the Sefer um, version of the scriptures. And I know some other scriptures, Jubilees, I think the verses and the chapters are off just a little bit, but not quite sure because I've been just using this one alone. And it's been pretty easy to follow. So on the Sefer, it gives us like the transliterated Hebrew names and the transliterated names of Yahweh as well. So here we go. Verse 11. And Rivka took the goodly raiment, the clothes of Esau and her elder son, which was with her in the house, and she clothed Yaakov, her younger son, with them. And she put the skins of the kids upon his arms and on the exposed parts of his neck. I wonder how she did that. It's not like they had, you know, like makeup adhesives. How did she strap it on? Wouldn't Esau maybe feel the, any ropes or twine or some strings that were, I don't know. It's very interesting. Just thought about that. Not that it makes any difference, but I'm just thinking. But nevertheless, she put the skins of the kids upon his hands and his baby goats. Okay, not children, on his hands and on the exposed parts of the necks. And verse 12, and she gave the meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hands of her son Yaakov. And Yaakov went into the father and said, I am your son. I've done it according as you bade me. Arise and sit and eat of that which I caught, Father, that your soul may bless me. And Yitzhak said to his son, how have you found so quickly, my son? And Yaakov said, because Yahweh Eloheka caused me to find. And Yitzhak said unto him, come near, that I may feel you, my son, if you are my son Esau or not. And Yaakov went near to Yitzhak and his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Yaakov's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because it was a dispensation from heaven to remove his power of perception. And Yitzhak discerned not, for his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's, so that he blessed him. And he said, are you my son Esau? I mean, his discernment's off. He's like, not quite sure this is Esau, but it's, if he was really on top of his game, he would have known. So what's going on with that? I mean, seriously, right? I mean, just a thought. So moving right along, he says, and he said, I'm your son. And he said, bring near to me that I may eat of that which you have caught, my son, that my soul may bless you. And he brought near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And Isaac his father said unto him, come near and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and he blessed him and said, behold, the smell of my son is at the smell of a full field of which Yahweh has blessed. And may Yahweh give you of the dew of heaven and of the dew of earth and plenty of grain and oil. Let nations serve you and peoples bow down to you. Be Lord of your brethren. Let your mother's son bow down to you. And may all the blessings wherewith Yahweh has blessed me and blessed Abraham my father be imparted to you and to your seed forever. Cursed be he that curses you, and blessed be he that blesses you. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made it an end of blessing his son Yaakov, and Yaakov had gone forth from Isaac his father, he hid himself, and Esau his brother came in from hunting. Dun dun dun. So no, that visiting only visiting this planet, that was the old one. I think it's the world as we see it, or something like that. Just I think that's what it is. Okay, that's the Thursday show. All right, going on. And he also made savory meat, and he brought it to his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise and eat of my venison, that your soul may bless me. Not going to happen, because Esau, you sold your birthright. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who are you? And he said unto him, I am your firstborn, your son Esau. I have done as you have commanded me. And Isaac was very greatly astonished, and said, Who is he that has hunted and caught and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before you came, and have blessed him, and he shall be blessed, and all his seed forever. And it came to pass, when Esau heard the words of his father Isaac, that he cried with an exceeding great and bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, father. And he said unto him, Your brother came with guile, has taken away your blessing. And he said, Now I know why his name is named Yaakov, and behold, he has supplanted me. These two times he took away my birthright. Wait a minute. These two times he took away my birthright. He sold his birthright. We went over that. He sold his birthright. Come on, yeah. Esau is the supplanter. Esau is the one that is deceiving, because he should have been upright with his father and said, Look, I sold my birthright to Yaakov. The blessing is his. I can't take it. But he was going to deceive his father as if it belonged to him. But nevertheless, he goes on and says, He has supplanted me these two times, and he took away my birthright, and now he's taken away my blessing. And he said, Have you not reserved a blessing for me, father? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him your lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with plenty of grain and wine and oil have I strengthened him. And what now shall I do for you, my son? And Esau said to Isaac, his father, Have you but one blessing, O father? Bless me, even me also, father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac answered and said unto him, Behold, far from the dew of the earth shall be your dwelling, and far from the dew of heaven from above. And by your sword will you live, and you will serve your brother. And it shall come to pass, when you become great, and do shake his yoke from off your neck, you shall sin a complete sin unto death, and your seed shall be rooted out from under heaven. Whoa. I don't think the Torah goes that far, does it? I mean, that's the sin unto death. I mean, that's probably quite poignant, right? You shall sin a complete sin unto death, and your seed shall be rooted out from under heaven. That's literally saying, yeah, your seed's going to be cut off. But we do know that Edomites, come into the royalty during the time of Yeshua, right? Because Herod was an Edomite, and so was Caiaphas. Caiaphas was an Edomite. He bought the priesthood, his position in the priesthood. And Esau kept threatening Yaakov because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him, threatening Yaakov because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And he said in his heart, May the days of mourning for my father now come, so that I may slay my brother Yaakov. Oh my goodness. You know what he just said there? He just said, I hope my dad dies soon so that I can kill my brother. That's that's pretty wicked. That see, this a complete sin unto death. You know, when we think about the sin unto death is the blasphemy of the Ruach Hakodesh, the Holy Spirit. Blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, resisting the move of the Spirit of Yah on one's life all the way up to the point of death where one never repents. Wow. No, and that's why in the scripture said, Jacob, Yaakov I loved, and Esau I hated. I think, isn't that over? Okay, I think it is. And may the days of mourning for my father now come, so that I may slay my brother Yaakov. He doesn't want dad around when he goes to try to kill Jacob. No wonder he was coming with 400 men, to meet Jacob when Jacob was on his way back to the land. Chapter 27, verse 1. And the words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rivkah in a dream. Well, there's Rivkah in her dreams again. See? Now that's a woman that's really tuned in, and where she's getting some discernment even in her dreams. I mean, she had discernment anyway, but when they come in the dream form, I mean, it was understood that dreams were messages from the Most High. But remember Solomon? Solomon had dreams that were recorded in the scripture, and he accounted those dreams as dreams from the Most High. So here, she said, and the words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rivkah in a dream. So she didn't even have to be listening. Isn't it uncanny how moms know, right? They just know stuff, and they don't even have to be in the room. They just know stuff that's going on with their kids, with their children. Let's not call them baby goats, all right? And Rivkah sent and called Yaakov, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, Esau, your brother, will take vengeance on you so as to kill you. And now, therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise and flee to Laban, my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days, until your brother's anger turns away, and he removes his anger from you, and forget all that you've done. Then I will send and fetch you from thence. And Yaakov said, I'm not afraid. If he wishes to kill me, I will kill him. Well, that's pretty bold. He's like, I'm good. I got the blessing, because he can't take the blessing away. I got the blessing of long life too. So don't mess with me. Nobody's going to mess with me. Well, they can mess with him, but they can't kill him because he's got the blessing. Oh, right. Okay. But she said unto him, Let me not be bereft of both my sons on one day. She's afraid that they'll kill each other, like both of them be mortally wounded. It'll be quite a scuffle. She's like, I don't think that's wise because Mama knows best. Okay. And Yaakov said to Rivkah, his mother, Behold, you know that my father has become old and does not see because his eyes are dull. And if I leave him, it will be evil in his eyes because if I and if I leave him, it will be evil in his eyes. And because I leave him and go away from you, and my father will be angry and will curse me, I will not go. When he sends me, then only will I go. And Rivkah said to Yaakov, I will go in and speak to him, and he will send you away. Why? Because Mama has a way to talk to Daddy. Just the way it is. Isn't that right? Isn't there something about how a wife has the ability to speak to the husband when he's not thinking? He's senseless. He's like without a clue, senseless, not like paying attention, clueless, and going in a wrong direction. And here comes the wife. That's why y'all gives wives to husbands to and they can say things in a particular way that says, huh, I didn't think about it that way. I think that's a good idea. In fact, I'll use that idea as my own if you don't mind. No, just kidding. All right. Um, but sometimes wives are really good to make their husbands think that it was their original idea. Makes the husband feel good. Wife gets what needs done, what needs to be done. Just kidding. For the rudder. uh, that's funny. Tammy, we're the rudder. Just nudge. Just gotta nudge him just in the right direction there. And Rivka said to Yaakov, I will go in and speak to him, and he will send you away. And Rivka went in and said to Yitzhak, I loathe my life because of the two daughters of Heth, whom Esau has taken him as woman. He's taken him. He's taken him as women. There you go. Not as wives, but as women, like property, like chattel. Such wording. Okay, it's not derogatory. It's just translation. And if Yaakov take a woman from among the daughters of the land, takes a wife, okay, from among the daughters of the land, such as these, for what purpose do I further live? For the daughters of Canaan are evil. And Yitzhak called Yaakov and blessed him and admonished him and said unto him, do not take you a woman, a wife, of any of the daughters of Canaan. Arise and go to Aram Naharaim, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take you a woman, a wife, from thence of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. See, she did it. She just went in there. Oh, I just can't take it anymore. Oh, Yitzhak, these the women of Esau, they're just driving me crazy. I just can't bear it if Yaakov would get somebody like that too. Oh, how shall I ever live? Okay. All right, I'm just having fun with it. All right. Just having fun. Got to spice it up a little bit. Okay. And El Shaddai bless you and increase and multiply you, that you may become a company of nations, and give you a blessing of my father Abraham, to you and to your seed after you, that you may inherit the land of your sojournings, and all the land which Elohim gave to Abraham. Go, my son, in peace. See, he's like a double blessing. He gives him another blessing to go off and find a wife among his own relatives. And the way the blessing is, isn't this totally awesome? There's no spite in it. I mean, he's not even upset that his son has the blessing. It's almost like he knew that the blessing needed to go to Yaakov. I mean, isn't that true? It's like, yeah, it's like protocol says that Esau should get the blessing, but you think down deep in his heart that perhaps it should have that he knew that it needed to go to Jacob? I mean, after all, after he listened to the blessing that Abraham gave Jacob, and maybe there was something, that inkling way down in his heart, that like the elder should serve the younger. Remember what your wife said. Remember the prophetic word when she went off and she got a word from um, Noah's son Shem. Yeah, she got a word, a prophetic word from Yahweh, saying there's two nations and they're battling, but the elder will serve the younger. And a lot of times we just look at it as, oh, the word of Yah came to her, but it was, when we read in some of these other versions, I think, was it in Jubilees? Oh, my mind. But nevertheless, that we have that she went to somebody who had a prophetic word for her. We see that a lot, don't we, in the more of the charismatic, Pentecostal type of congregations today, where prophetic words are given through people. Now, it's not saying that everybody that comes with a word has a prophetic word. Sometimes they're just wanting to be part, and they're just being encouraging, and sometimes they have something directly from Yahweh, and you better listen up. And that was the word that she had received while the two boys were in her womb. And of course, Isn't that something that perhaps Isaac had been thinking all along, all these 40 some odd years? I mean, Yaakov's no spring chicken any longer, and all these long years. And so it's not like he's bitter, like, man, I can't believe you came in and you just deceived me, and yeah, I gave you your brother's blessing. It's like there's no hint of that. Verse 12, chapter 27. And Yitzhak sent Yaakov away, and he sent him to Aram Naharaim, to Laban, the son of Bethuel, Arami, the Arami. Yeah, because he was an Aramite. Yeah, he's from that part, way over there in Syria, you know? Okay. And the brother of Rivka, Yaakov's mother. So it's like, yeah, Rivka turned out really good. Why? What's Laban? Him and his shrunken head idols? Yeah, I mean, like night and day difference. And they come from the same family. And Rivka, you know, she knew who the Most High was, but Laban was like, I'm just gonna do, yeah, I'm gonna have my own idols. Whatever. Okay, so going on, and it came to pass after Yaakov had risen to go to Ram Naharaim that the ruach of Rivkah was grieved after her son, and she wept. Yeah, because why? Because Yaakov was her favorite. She, yeah, I mean, honestly, everything in her life was to make sure that she could get Jacob in the right place at the right time to make sure that he got the blessing. I think everything in her life was always, her antennas were up to make sure he what had been studied. He had studied in the tents of Shem and Abraham, that he was the one who was always close by, taking care of the herds, but he was always at home, you know, and as opposed to being gone like Esau. So he would always be within calling distance. So when that time came and she knew it, she could put him in that position to make sure that he got that blessing. And Esau would have been gone and out of the way during that time. She had it all planned out. I bet you it wasn't just like, oh, quick, all right, let's do this. Let's get there. No, I bet you she is like, I've got those, we're always going to make sure we got some baby goats, and the baby goats are going to be real close. So when I need them, we'll have them. So yeah, she did. She believed the report about the children. Do, did I take acting lessons? um, no, I didn't take acting lessons, but I did do a little bit of drama in high school. Well, growing up, you could do plays and stuff. Um, but I did one of my classes was in English in high school was half the semester was drama and the other half of the semester was speech. And so I did learn from that, but never got on the big, the big spring play that the school would put on every year. I never made it. I never made the cut. I should have. No, just kidding. All right. Elyon. Okay, Itzhak said to Rivka, uh, yeah, my sister, weep not on account of Yaakov, my son, for he goes in peace, and in peace will he return. Remember now, shalom, nothing missing, nothing broken, fullness, wholeness, and completeness. So that's how he goes, and that's how he's going to come back. And Elyon will guard him from all evil, and will be with him, for he will not forsake him all his days. For I know that his ways will be prospered in all things wherever he goes, until he return in peace to us, and we see him in peace. And I mean, he's talking about, you know, I might be old, but I'm not that old yet. I still have some time in my life, and I'm gonna see him again. Of course, they thought maybe it'd go, be gone for 6 months and be back, but he's going to be gone for 20 years, and but nevertheless, fear not on his account, my sister, for he is on the upright path, and he is a perfect man. I say perfect man because he's mature and he's working towards maturity, right? And he's faithful. And it's also speaking of how he keeps Torah. So isn't it interesting too that Yitzhak actually understands the blessing and the covenant, because that is this is what Yitzhak has experienced all of his life, and now this is, he said, the same thing that's been on me is going to be the same thing that's going to be on Jacob. So he's going to go and he'll return and he's going to prosper while he's gone, and he's going to be, his blessings just going to multiply. So she perfect confidence in it, because there's still, even though he might be dull in discernment uh, and spiritually undiscerning, that he still has that connection with the Most High and still understands relationship with the Most High, covenant with the Most High, and blessing of the Most High. Weep not. And Yitzhak comforted Rivkah on account of her son Yaakov and blessed him. And Yaakov went from the well of the oath to go to Haran on the first year of the second week in the 44th Jubilee. And Yaakov, see, get this, this is a time thing. You put it right on the calendar. Yaakov went from the well of the oath to go to Haran on the first year of the second week in the 44th Jubilee. So the second week would have been like 1 week would have been 7 years, and then getting into the second week, somewhere from year 8 to 14 is when he left in the 44th Jubilee, in the first year of the second week. No, so that would be in the 8th year. So the 8th year of the 44th Jubilee. And so that's when it was. And it says to go to Haran on the first year of the second week. So it could have been any time in the course of that year, or it could have been on the beginning of the year, which is, by the way, on the high priestly calendar, begins. Tomorrow's the first day. Tomorrow is the first day. So Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Just want to say that, because we're not checking out the moon like all the other pagan religions do. We're looking at how Yah had set up the calendar, and the counting of the days began on the fourth day of the week. All right. Just saying. Yaakov went from the well of the oath to go to Haran on the first year of the second week in the 44th Jubilee, and he came to Luz in the mountains. That is Bethel, on the new month of the first month of this week. Now, of course, there's a translation error, in my opinion, right here, because we're not counting the months by the sliver of the moon or the full dark moon. We're not doing that. We're counting it. So when did he arrive? He arrived on the first day of the first month of this week. So the first day of the year on year 8 of the 44th Jubilee. Does that make sense? You put it on the calendar. That's when he left, and he arrived at Beit El. Well, this is really amazing if you really think about this. And he came to the place at evening and turned from the way of the west of the road that night, and he slept there, for the sun had set. And he took one of the stones of that place and laid under the tree. And he was journeying alone, and he slept. And he dreamt that night, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angel of Yahweh, ascended and descended on it. And behold, Yahweh stood upon it. And he spoke to Yaakov and said, I am Yahweh Elohim. I'm Yahweh Elohim of Abraham, your father, and the Elohim of Yitzhak. The land whereon you are sleeping, to you will I give it, and to your seed after you. Now, this is a really amazing thing. How much time we got? Oh, we got time. Okay. Let's make another note here. What day did he get the message from Yahweh? See, right, Tammy? It's the first day. And it was on the first day that Jacob, probably the last thing in his mind is like, I hope I get a word from Yahweh. I hope I get a word from Yahweh tonight. I hope I get a word from Yahweh, because I just need to bolster my esteem. So I just need Yahweh to talk to me. He's not saying anything like that. He's living his life and he's on a mission to go get a wife. And by the way, he's not empty handed. He would have been going at the pace of the dowry, which would have been of the flocks that are with him. So with with probably some camels loaded up, and and just think about this. But he lays down to sleep, and this is where we get the Jacob's ladder type of thing. And but it was on the first day of the year, on the 8th year of the 44th Jubilee. So what's eight? Eight is new beginnings. And this is on the first day. He gets a word from Yahweh. You know, we need to find out what Jubilees we're in right now, because wouldn't that be interesting in terms of what year? But nevertheless, why not expect a word from Yahweh when we sleep? I mean, Rebecca, she just got a word from Yahweh. When? When she was sleeping, and she knew what Esau had said. And so now we have Jacob, Yaakov, and he's getting a word. How? In a dream form. And he just came off of a Shemitah year and got the blessing, and now a new beginning. That's there you go. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Thanks, Tammy. And he spoke to Yaakov and said, this is verse 22. I am Yahweh, Elohim of Abraham, your father, and Elohim of Yitzhak. The land whereon you're sleeping, to you will I give it, and to your seed after you. And your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall increase to the west, and in the east, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south, and the south. And in you and in your seed shall all the families of the nations be blessed. And behold, I will be with you, and I will guard you whithersoever you go, and I will bring you again into the land in peace, for I will not leave you until I do everything that I told you of. And Yaakov awoke from his sleep and said, truly this place is the house of Yahweh, and I knew it not. And he was afraid and said, dreadful is this place, which is none other than the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of heaven. Well, where was he? Uh, shall we say? Could have been right there. Well, we've talked about it in the past that it could have been the very place that Yeshua was hung on the tree. That it's just an amazing thing. But that was a doorway. If you ever been to Jerusalem and you've been to that Golgotha, and you think about that's a doorway. Things like that don't change. In other words, the intense connection one can have with the Most High in these special places. Not that any place in your prayer closet we can have a special place. In a congregational service, you can have a special place. I mean, it can be anywhere. I mean, there's not like any limitation of geography, but it's pretty cool about this geography because so many different places, so many different things happened in this geography. In fact, they say, isn't this where Itzhak had been laid upon the altar and the ram was found in the thicket at Mount Moriah? This place, at the place, the Hamakom. We've had that discussion in our Torah portions, and this is very interesting. And Yaakov rose early in the morning and took the stone which he had put under his head and set it up as a pillar for a sign, and he poured oil upon on the top of it, and he called the name of the place Bet El, and the name of the place was Luz at the first. And Yaakov vowed a vow unto Yahweh, saying, if Yahweh will be with me and will guard me in this way that I go, and give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace. Then shall Yahweh be my Elohim, and this stone which I've set up as a pillar for a sign in this place shall be Yahweh's house. And of all that you give me, I will give the tenth to you, my Elohim. So I just and he says, where this is, I'm setting up, may it be your house. Isn't it interesting that this could have been the very cornerstone of the temple on Mount Moriah. I was just saying, I mean, it's looking at all these different pieces and all these different things that go together, and you think, wow, it's pretty cool. I mean, you can layer them together. Um, and there's a lot of different thoughts about all of these different elements and where they are specifically. It's like, could it be here or could it be there? It it doesn't. The fact is that sometimes we get caught up in trying to be so precise that we get in arguments about it. But the fact is that Jacob met Yahweh at this place. It was so impactful that he set up a rock and anointed it. And he's not quite sure. He's not quite sure that he's going to return. In fact, why would he say this? Because it's in Jasher that we find out that it was Esau's eldest son that chased Jacob down and stripped him of everything that he had. And here we have, and it says, well, he had some oil, and why would he say something like, well, if you just feed me and clothe me, you know, that'll be enough, Diana, you know, uh, and bring me back to this place. Because it's almost like he leave his father's house with nothing to go get a bride? That would not pass the muster, so to speak. I mean, there's no way that Laban would find that acceptable, other than, we know the story where Jacob shows up empty-handed and said, "Well, you don't have anything, but you'll work for me, and you're going to build up my wealth, and then you can have my daughter." And so in Jasher, it kind of fills in the gap. That's what happened to the dowry, the blessing that he was the bridal purchase price, so to speak, like as if he's going to buy his wife. But I mean the gift price is probably a better way to say it. The gift price for his bride. And so I think he's still a little iffy about it, but he's saying, if you'll just feed me and clothe me, bring me back to this place, then we're good, and then I'm going to believe that you are truly my Yah, my Elohim. I inside of me is like, Jacob, why are you doubting? You've had so much, you know so much, you've experienced so much, and is it was that is it really to where you think you gotta really see if Yahweh's going to do it for you to really believe it? But don't we do that? We do that very same thing. Well, if you'll just do this, do we ever make these um, um, deals with Yah? Don't we do that? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's make this deal. If you'll do this for me, then I'll do this for you. Like, if you'll do this for me, then I'll serve you. It's like, why does Yah need me to serve him? Why does he's like, you'll get the best of me, because I'm so good, and you're gonna be so honored to have me. So we'll make this deal, and you can have me if you do this for me. No, but truly, people make those type of deals all the time. Don't you think y'all just kind of laughs or just smiles? Oh, as if I really need you. No, he's like, he really just wants us. He just desires us. He wants, whenever we think about the Most High, he wants our eyes to twinkle and to sparkle, and to just, you know, think, wow, you're my father. Wow, you're just the greatest. And that's the way he wants us to think of him. And but I think Jacob is just like the most of us, making deals. I can't say that I didn't do I did that as a kid, as a young man. I was on an airplane one time, and it was bad. The turbulence was so bad. I was on a sports trip, and it was I was white knuckling my seat. I just knew the plane wasn't going to make it. And I mean, I never had fear like that on an airplane before, nor since. It was just something about that time. Fear just gripped me. And it's like making deals with them. If you'll just get me on the ground, if you'll just get me on the ground and I live, then I'll serve you. I'll serve you. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't serving him at that point in time in my life, but I wasn't a good Baptist. I just knew about salvation because they always had salvation message every Sunday. You gotta get saved. You gotta confess your sin. Come to the altar. Once you're saved, you're always saved. Just get it right the first time. Okay. Chapter 28. And he went on his journey, and he came to the land of the east, to Laban, the brother of Rivkah, and it was with him, and he was with him, not it, and he was with him, and served him for Rachel, his daughter, 1 week. So we don't get the story of the well or anything like that, because it's not important in Jubilee. It's just that he served for 1 week. That's 7 years for Rachel. And in the first year of the 3rd week, he said unto him, so Jacob says to Laban, give me my woman, for whom I've served you 7 years. Laban said to Yaakov, I will give you your woman. And Laban made a feast and took Leah, his elder daughter, and gave her to Yaakov as a woman, and gave her Zilpah, his handmaid, for a handmaid. And Yaakov did not know, for he thought that she was Rachel. And he went in unto her, and behold, she was Leah. And Yaakov was angry with Laban, and said unto him, why have you dealt with me thus? Why have you dealt thus with me? Did I not serve you for Rachel, and not for Leah? Why have you wronged me? Take your daughter, and I will go. You have done evil to me. For Yaakov loved Rachel more than Leah, for Leah's eyes were weak, and her form was very handsome. Now that doesn't say that over in Genesis, in Bereshit. It doesn't say that at all. That it says that her eyes were weak, but it says, but her form was very handsome. But Rachel had beautiful eyes and a beautiful and very handsome form. Did a man write this? Yeah, Moses. Moses got the download. Did Yahweh give Moses this download in man terminology? I'm just kidding. It just kind of seems kind of funny, doesn't it? And Laban said, Yaakov, it is not so done in our country to give the younger before the elder. And it's not right to do this, for thus it is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets that no one should give his younger daughter before the elder. But the elder who gives, one gives first, and after her the younger, and the man who does so, that they set down guilt against him in heaven. And none is righteous that does this thing, for this deed is evil before Yahweh. Of course, this is coming from Laban, who has the idol heads. So I think he's making it up as he goes. Like, you can't. It's written in the scrolls of heaven that you can't give the younger daughter before the elder daughter. I think he's just like making it up as he goes along. It sounds like Laban, and but he's tricking him, and and he says, and command you, the children of Israel, that they do not this thing. Let them neither take nor give the younger before they have given the elder, for it is very wicked. And Laban said to Yaakov, let the 7 days of the feast of this one pass by, and I shall give you Rachel, that you may serve me another 7 years, that you may pasture my sheep as you did in the former week. And on the day when the 7 days of the feast of Leah had passed, Laban gave Rachel to Yaakov, that he might serve him another 7 years. So he waited 7 days and he got the bride he wanted, because because Esau was supposed to have Leah. That's why. That's what was going on. I mean, the two sons were supposed to marry these two daughters. Okay. So he had to do another 7 years. And he gave Rachel Bilhah, the sister of Zilpah, as a handmaid. What? So Bilhah and Zilpah were sisters? And they were servants in the house of Laban, and they were given to Rachel and Leah. Okay. And he served yet another 7 years for Rachel, for Leah had been given to him for nothing. And Yahweh opened the womb of Leah, and she conceived and bore Yaakov a son, and he called his name Reuben on the 14th day of the 9th month in the first year of the 3rd week. 14th day of the 9th month in the first year of the 3rd week. Okay, there's our counting again. Not going to go over that again. But the womb of Rachel was closed, for Yahweh saw that Leah was hated and Rachel loved. So Jacob should have loved Leah, and then Rachel could have conceived, but he didn't. All right, so moving on. And again, Yaakov went into Leah, and she conceived and bore Yaakov a second son, and he called his name Shimon. And on the 21st of the 10th month, and in the 3rd year of this week, and again Yaakov went into Leah, and she conceived and bore him a third son, and called his name Levi. In the new month, or the beginning of the first month in the 6th year, because it's stuck in that word again. I'm not going to say it. So the first day of the first month in the 6th year of this week. And again Yaakov went into her, and she conceived and bore him a fourth son. And she called his name Yehudah on the 15th of the 3rd month in the first year of the 4th week. 15th of the 3rd month sounds like Shavuot, that Yehudah was born. In the first year of the 4th week. And in account of all this, Rachel envied Leah, for she did not bear. And she said to Yaakov, give me children. And Yaakov said, have I withheld from you the fruits of your womb? Have I forsaken you? And when Rachel saw that Leah had borne 4 sons, Yaakov, I'm out of time. We're going to have to stop right there in verse 17 in chapter 28. We're going to have to come back next time and finish it up, or keep going on. Hope you enjoyed the journey today. We'll see y'all on Shabbat. Yeah. Shalom, shalom.
If you missed today's show or want to watch it again or want to tell someone where they can watch this episode, go to lambnetwork.tv, where you will find this show and all the other live Lamb show archives in the on-demand section of the website. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to tell someone about the Messianic Lamb Network. We are richly blessed to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussions, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the lambnetwork.tv website. I'm Sandi Craig, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network. Thank you.